In the pursuit of the exceptional, we often look to price tags and exclusivity. We imagine opulent suites, private jets, and Michelin-starred dining as the pinnacle of experience. But what if the greatest luxury wasn't something you could buy, but something you could reclaim? This is the central question for a new era of sophisticated travel. It's the reason why time, not money, is the ultimate luxury. For most people, luxury is measured in tangible costs. The price of a first-class ticket, the thread count of the sheets, the rarity of the vintage served at dinner. These are the familiar markers of a premium experience, the metrics by which we judge a trip's value. We save, we plan, and we spend, believing that a higher price tag guarantees a better memory. But for high net worth and ultra-high net worth individuals, this equation has been inverted. For this discerning group, money stopped being the primary constraint long ago. When any destination, any experience, and any service is financially within reach, the very definition of value is forced to evolve. The focus shifts away from what can be acquired to what cannot be easily manufactured or purchased. What replaced it is something far more finite, far more precious, and infinitely more limited. Time. In a world where financial resources are abundant, the true scarcity shifts to unstructured, meaningful hours. This isn't just about having a free afternoon. It's about cultivating an environment where time itself feels different. It's the luxury of an entire week with no fixed agenda, allowing for spontaneity. It's the ability to bypass the friction of commercial travel, the queues, the layovers, the rigid schedules, to reclaim hours, even days, that would otherwise be lost. It is time that can be experienced without urgency, friction, or obligation. This is the new currency of travel, where the greatest indulgence is not what you do, but the unhurried peace in which you do it. In a world saturated with material wealth where possessions can be acquired with a simple transaction, a new currency has emerged at the highest echelons of society. It is a currency that cannot be bought, minted, or multiplied. It can only be spent, saved, or lost. This is why, at the highest levels of travel, time, not money, has become the ultimate luxury. The decision to fly privately, for instance, is rarely about the champagne or the leather seats. It is about bypassing the 2 hours of security lines, the crowded terminals, and the rigid schedules of commercial aviation. It is about transforming a day of stressful transit into a few hours of productive, private reflection. It is about buying back a day. Similarly, securing exclusive use of a resort wing or a remote lodge is not an act of ostentation. It is a strategic move to eliminate friction. It ensures that every moment is seamless, that the pool is always quiet, that a table is always ready. It removes the small, cumulative delays and decisions that chip away at the preciousness of a holiday, preserving the integrity of unstructured time. This profound shift is validated by a growing body of research. Wealth psychology consistently shows that valuing time over the pursuit of more money leads to significantly higher life satisfaction and greater happiness. The principle is known as time affluence, the feeling of having enough time to pursue what matters most. For those who have already achieved financial abundance, cultivating time affluence becomes the next, and perhaps more challenging, frontier of personal wealth. This is where the art of delegation becomes essential. When people entrust the intricate logistics, the endless decision-making, and the complex coordination to a dedicated expert, they are not just outsourcing tasks. They are reclaiming cognitive real estate. They free the mental space required for genuine presence, for connection, for the simple act of being. For high net worth travelers, this is not an indulgence. It is a necessity. Their daily schedules are dense. Their professional attention is fragmented across a dozen competing priorities. Their minds are constantly processing, analyzing, and deciding. Travel, therefore, cannot be another source of cognitive load. It must be the antidote. It must actively restore time rather than consume it. The true measure of a successful journey is no longer the number of sights seen or the miles covered. It is the moments of unhurried stillness. It is the freedom from a schedule, the luxury of spontaneity, and the profound peace that comes from knowing that every detail is being handled. In this paradigm, the ultimate status symbol is not what you own, but how you own your time. It is the quiet confidence of being truly present in your own life. This is why time control sits at the center of elite travel behavior. It's a principle that redefines the very meaning of luxury. For those who operate at the highest levels of business, creativity, and influence, time is not just a currency, it is the fundamental asset. It is the non-renewable resource from which all opportunities, decisions, and relationships are built. Therefore, private aviation is not about status, but about strategy. It is a sophisticated tool for bypassing friction. Commercial travel, for all its modern convenience, is a system built on compromise. It is a landscape of queues, unpredictable delays, and crowded terminals, 1,000 small points of friction that quietly erode energy and focus. Each moment spent in a security line, each hour waiting for a connecting flight, is a tax on one's most valuable resource. Consider the executive who must finalize a merger in London and then attend a vital board meeting in Geneva on the same day. With commercial flights, this is a logistical impossibility, fraught with risk. But with private transport, the world's geography is redrawn. The aircraft waits for the passenger, not the other way around. The cabin becomes a secure mobile office, a sanctuary for thought where critical calls can be made in complete privacy and documents can be reviewed without distraction. This is the core principle: removing variables. By eliminating the rigid departure windows, the layovers, and the potential for missed connections, private aviation doesn't just preserve hours. More importantly, it preserves cognitive bandwidth. The human mind has a finite capacity for decision-making and problem-solving. Every trivial choice, which security line is faster, whether a bag will be checked on time, how to navigate a sprawling terminal, depletes this reserve. By outsourcing this logistical burden, the traveler protects their mental clarity for the high-stakes decisions that truly matter. The journey is no longer a stressful ordeal to be endured, but a seamless, productive extension of their day. Schedules remain fluid, adapting to opportunity. A meeting running late is no cause for alarm. A sudden need to divert to a new city is a simple instruction, not a crisis. Journeys become direct, efficient, and purposeful. Adjustments happen instantly. This is not extravagance. It is the strategic management of energy and attention. It is the ultimate expression of control, allowing the world's most impactful individuals to be precisely where they need to be, exactly when they need to be there, arriving not depleted, but prepared. Time is no longer negotiated, it is protected. Luxury travel advisors often note that ultra-wealthy clients expect 24-hour adaptability. Weather changes, moods shift, opportunities arise unexpectedly. The ability to adjust without explanation, penalty, or delay is valued more than any amenity. Rigid itineraries feel restrictive. Flexibility feels luxurious. This emphasis on time control is also why slow travel has replaced rapid itineraries. Rather than visiting many places briefly, high-net-worth travelers increasingly choose fewer locations for longer stays. Weeks, not days. Extended time allows for cultural depth, routine, and emotional grounding. There is no pressure to extract value from every hour. Experiences unfold naturally. Travel becomes lived rather than consumed. Long stays also remove planning fatigue. Researching restaurants, booking activities, navigating logistics, these decisions quietly drain attention. By outsourcing planning to trusted advisors and concierges, wealthy travelers eliminate this friction entirely. Presence replaces preparation. The luxury is not the experience itself, but the freedom to arrive without mental residue. Off-season travel reflects the same philosophy. Peak travel periods compress time, crowds slow movement, demand dictates schedules.
By traveling during shoulder seasons, high-net-worth individuals reclaim control. Airports are calmer, destinations breathe. Service becomes attentive rather than reactive.
Sleep improves, stress declines, days feel longer, time expands when pressure disappears. Wellness is deeply connected to this shift. Reduced stimulation, fewer transitions, and slower pacing support nervous system recovery. Travel stops being another performance and becomes restorative. Psychological studies consistently link time-rich experiences with improved emotional well-being, particularly after periods of intense work or transition. For the ultra-wealthy, travel is no longer escape. It is recalibration. Even the structure of days changes. There are no rigid meal times, no fixed agendas, no urgency to optimize. Moments are allowed to linger. Morning light, quiet movement, uninterrupted conversations. This unstructured time, free from coordination and expectation, is where luxury becomes deeply personal. Experts note that while ultra-wealthy individuals may take fewer trips than before, they spend more time within each one. Purpose replaces accumulation. Possessions matter less than how time feels while moving through the world. Ultimately, this is why money fades from the definition of luxury. Money buys access, time buys experience. And once time becomes scarce, protecting it becomes the highest priority. This is why the most refined journeys today feel unhurried. They do not rush to impress. They do not compete for attention. They do not attempt to optimize every moment. They allow time to unfold. At the highest levels of travel, luxury is no longer measured by where you go or what you spend. It is measured by how much of your time remains truly your own.